Hello and welcome to the discussion on question number 1 of Mains 2023 of GS paper 1. So, from being a net importer in the 1960s, India has emerged as a net exporter to the world to provide reasons. So, now in this particular question, you are asked about the reasons that how India from food importer has become the food exporter. So you have to give all the reasons. So let us understand what could be our introduction. So if I talked about introduction, it could have been like that this remarkable achievement of India is because of the following factors. You just could have written that statement and you could have start with the reasons. Okay, so let us explore the reasons. The first reason can be of green revolution, where you could have talked about high yielding crop varieties, high yielding crop varieties. In this only you could have write modern scientific agricultural techniques, agricultural techniques, plus you could have also talked about improved irrigation, improved irrigation. Is it okay? Remember this, whatever you are going to say, you have to have a data related to this thing. Is it okay? And you could have also mentioned it that let's say the production of wheat or the production of rice has substantially increased from this amount to that amount. Is it okay? Next, second point is increased crop productivity. Why what are the reasons here? So increased crop productivity because of the advances in agricultural research. You could have also talked about the technological part. So now because of this thing, it has boosted the crop yield. So this keyword has to be there, crop yield. Is it okay? Next, you could have said that okay, because of adoption of genetically modified crops, plus you say precision farming. Precision farming is related to your irrigation facilities. Okay, example can be your sprinkler system. Sprinkler system. Is it okay? So this could have been written under increased crop productivity. Then the third point is infrastructure development. So in this you could have written that because of investment in where, because of investment in the rural infrastructure, because you know that in the rural part of India only this agricultural takes place, though it is an urban also, but majority of this takes in the rural part. So therefore it is important to invest in the rural infrastructure. What kind of rural infrastructure? You could have talked about roads, you could have talked about storage facilities. Okay, storage facilities as in cold storage facilities. Is it okay? Cold storage facilities. Then so this particular thing will do what? It will improved uh, you should say improved market access. Yes or no? Or if you want to go deeper into it, you could have written like that okay, because of investment in the road storage facilities and improved market access, we could see improve improve efficiency, improved efficiency of agricultural supply chain, because now it is very very important to have a supply chain. Otherwise it will not be able to reach to the wider market. So once you have a supply chain, then you could have written that okay, now it could reduce post harvest losses. Is it clear to you? So all these points could have been written under infrastructure development also. Next, you can talk about government policies. So government policies like minimum support prices. You can also talk about subsidies. You can also talk about agricultural credit facilities. You can talk about Kisan credit card scheme also, some big points. Is it okay? So you can talk about it that these particular subsidies, they incentivize the farmers to increase their production. Because now if they, let's say for wheat or let's say for rice, if they're getting subsidy, so they are getting security also. So in that case, government is incentivizing the farmers. In return, what is happening, there is increase in the production. If you talk about MSPs, so MSPs are doing what? It is providing price stability. This we have discussed in the classes also. Okay, price stability is providing. So once you have price stability, then this MSP is going to provide income security also. You remember I had talked about government job whenever I have discussed the farm bills. So I talked to you about government jobs. In government jobs, you will have security. So this MSP is going to give income security to the farmers. In this government policy, if you recall any scheme, okay, you can write that also. Next point, next fifth point in this, you could have talked about diversification of crops from traditional food grains to high value crops. High value crops. So in this, fruits will come into picture, vegetables will come into picture. You can talk about horticulture also. You can talk about spices also. So now what will happen, once you will start the production of high value crops, it will be easy for you to export. So this particular thing will expand export opportunities. Yes or no? So now you will be able to sell your product in the international market. Is it okay? Next, you can talk about globalization and trade liberalization. So globalization means what? Interconnection of the world. So now because of globalization, what will happen, that these products, they will be able to participate in international trade agreements also. International trade agreements. And because of this, these products will get access to the global market. Yes or no? If you talk about trade liberalization, so trade liberalization, what will happen? So now if removal of export tariffs, or you say there will be removal of restrictions plus reduction of import tariffs. This you can talk about it here. So see, the only thing you have to take care is that all these things you have to have some kind of data. Is it okay? Next, with FDI, you can talk about that. Okay, because of FDI, what will happen? Your funds will come into picture. Then advance technologies will also come into picture. And because of this, what will happen? It will give birth to better farming. It will give birth to better farming practices, which eventually will do what? Boost productivity as well as quality. And once you are boosting the productivity and the quality, your product will be competitive in the international market. So you can talk about these things under FDI. And you know, in the I think in the past few months, there was this news related to the European market or European Union, that Indian products, they did not get the access to the European market because their Indian goods were considered of not very good quality. So government, so once you start working on the productivity and quality, so what will happen, you will get access to the international market as well as your price will become competitive. Next, under government initiatives, so we had talked about government policies also. Here we had talked about government policies here. So you could have clubbed those points, or if you, let's say, if you know 2-3 extra government initiative, you can put it under separate subheading also. Here you can talk about PM Krishi Sinchai Yojana. This is particularly for irrigation, because now availability of water will lead to the production of the crop. It will lead to increased production of the crop first. Then you can talk about PM Fasal Bima Yojana. This is nothing but your insurance. It is related to your crop insurance. Then the third thing, you can also talk about ENAM. So ENAM is like a Amazon ka website where they can online trading also. And once they will start online trading, their market reach reach will increase. Is this clear? Okay. Talking about the ninth point in the climate resilience, you can talk about this climate resilience. How will it happen? Climate resilience through crop diversification, plus you can also talk about water management. Is it okay? And now, because of these two things, what will happen? There will be consistent agricultural production, because climate resilience means what? The temperature will rise high. So once the temperature will rise high, it may impact the agricultural production. But if you have the crop diversification, okay, crop diversification means those crops which are able to withstand higher temperature, and if you have a source of water management, then there is no breakthrough, or there is no break in the agricultural production. Is it okay? Then if you talk about the surplus production, you could have write that, okay, because of the above factors, there is surplus of production. Is it okay? Then in the conclusion part, you could have written that all these things are a result of decade of investment in the agricultural research, in the technology, in the infrastructure, in the supportive government policies, because you understand that without government policies, without subsidies, without credit facilities, in inviting investments into these particular sector would not be easy. And once, because of these factors will come into picture, it will give a collaborative effect, and because of this collaborative effect, it will ensure the food security. Is it okay? So all these points you can utilize in your answers to write in a very structural manner. What was missing is the data. If you have good data, from where will you get the data? Either you could have used economic budget and or you could have used economic survey. So from these two things, you could have used this data related to the agriculture. Okay, so thank you so much.